Hey, man.
Oh, I'm so excited to do this podcast. This is my favorite thing to do in the whole world. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Robert Cheesebrough? I think it's Chesbrough.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say Cheesebrough.
This is a weird painting.
It's CHESE, which I think is Chesbrough.
ESE?
Yeah. BROUGH.
Cheesebrough.
Chesebrough? Yeah. I'm gonna call him Cheesebrough.
Cheesebrough.
Robert Cheesebrough.
Cheesebrough.
Have you ever heard of him?
No, but this painting is interesting.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Because it looks modern. Like it looks like a modern painting because of the lighting. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like what you would see. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that this is someone who painted an old portrait of him.
Okay.
Like I think someone recently.
There's
was
an
like,
old.
oh,
That's what I'm saying. Because this looks like modern, like photography lighting.
Yeah.
But this is clearly a guy who's like from the 1800s.
Yeah.
So this looks like if you looked at a painting of a guy and then made a modern portrait lighted painting of that guy.
This is Southern Baptist
The
Costco.
Southern Baptist Costco.
It's an SBC.
We don't let the ladies in here. Seeing is believing.
Sounds like a gnome.
Yes. Come on down to the Southern Baptist Costco. It really hits the T in Costco.
Things I learned last night.
So who is Cheesebrough?
Cheesebrough. It's Cheesebrough. Robert Augustus Cheesebrough was born in 1837 in London, England, to American parents. They were accidentally in England when he got born, so he is
They were
English.
accidentally in England when he got born. I was trying to search Cheesebrough.
Don't look him up. What are you doing? Don't look him up. I'm telling you the story. Don't look him up. Don't look him up. Don't look him
You're
up.
not gonna believe. No, I'm not. You're not gonna believe this.
What?
It's pronounced Cheesebrough. I'm not even joking. It's either Chesbrough or Cheesebrough.
Chesbrough. Could you pass the Chesbrough? Could you pass the Chesbrough?
First syllable rhymes with fez or cheese.
Cheesebrough. Sick. So he is Cheesebrough.
He is Cheesebrough.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So born in 1837 in London, England, and then his parents obviously they live in Jersey, so they went back to Jersey.
Okay.
He grew up there, and he was always like,
How's that work? Does he get dual citizenship?
I think if you're born internationally, like you live there. Yeah, maybe you.
I mean, he got to come back.
I mean, yeah, he got to come back. But yeah, that's a good question because then
What year is this again?
1837.
Okay.
So back then they didn't care. They were like, oh, well, who cares?
There's like the world
whatever.
is the world.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you're all.
We're just happy you got born. That's
you're
actually
the Earth, baby.
That's a huge achievement for this time that you actually got born.
Made it. Yeah.
Good for you.
So they went back to Jersey, and he was like interested in science. So he spent his whole youth learning science stuff, and then he ended up getting a job in the mid 1800s working as a chemist for a company that collected oil from whales, and they used that for. What are you looking at me like that for?
Okay.
They use that for like lamps and stuff, like oil lamps. And
Yeah.
Like a very successful industry for years.
How do you collect oil from a whale? Is it a killing of the whale?
I think probably.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know for sure. I'm assuming they probably killed them.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Actually.
It wasn't like a giant Q-tip that you like kind of put into their mouth.
Yeah. It just says it was obtained from the whales. It doesn't say how.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's search it. Hey, while you're doing that, I thought of an interesting question yesterday. Do bugs sleep?
Yes.
They do?
I've seen it.
What do you mean you've seen it?
I've seen it. Remember that time I just believed that video that said that spiders learn your routine, so they only come out when you're not around. But really all it is they're just nocturnal. So you're just asleep.
Yeah. They learn your routine when the sun goes down and they come out. Yeah, no, he usually goes to bed when the sun comes down. That's why we wait.
So, oh yeah, they kill him.
Yeah, it's a killing thing. Okay.
They kill him. Yeah. They oof.
Okay.
They really kill him.
Jeez, okay.
No, yeah. So he worked as a chemist, and he basically would verify this oil that they got from the whales.
Okay.
And be like, this is good oil. We can ship this and use this. And successful industry for years until petroleum became an industry. Titusville, Pennsylvania, in, let me get the year right, 18. Doesn't matter.
Growth.
The first successful oil well was built, and they extracted oil from the earth as crude oil.
And do they have to kill the earth to do that?
They did. They actually, cut the head. And it was,
They really killed it.
Really killed it.
They're really killing the earth for that, huh?
And so because of that, his job was made obsolete. He did not need a job. He got laid off. He couldn't find any other jobs. And so he spent
They were like, yeah, the ground is harder to catch than whales. Turns out we can get the oil from the ground.
And so he decides, I'm going to go to Titusville. I'm going to see what's up. And he gets one of those local wells to agree to give him a tour so he can see around and how everything works.
Okay.
And while he's looking at everything that's being done, the whole process, there is a well that's not running. So he talks to the people working that well, and they're like, well, we have to stop it every once in a while to scrape, they call it the rod wax, off of the drill. And he was like, what? And they're like, well, it's this rod wax. So they finger off a dollop of it from the rod. And they said, when we go down there's this byproduct, we call it rod wax, and it's just this clear jelly-like substance that is not what we're trying to get. It's not valuable in any way. We usually just throw it away. And he says, oh, that's interesting. Can
I taste that real quick?
he's like, can I find out some stuff about that? And the workers were like, yeah, we actually use it when we injure ourselves on the job.
Vaseline.
We just cover ourselves in it because it helps us heal faster. It's soothing and it helps us heal faster. So he takes it home and he talks to the company. The company's like, yeah, you can take as much as you want. So he literally takes barrels home with him. And starts studying this stuff. And he discovers, oh, there is something to this. Using this, he would literally burn.
Neosporin.
He would burn himself, and then he'd rub
I'm trying to guess what it is.
He'd rub this rod wax on him, and he would realize, oh, if I burn myself here and then burn myself here and put the wax on this spot's healed faster than this spot is. And so he's like, there's something to this. This is magic earth dust, earth jelly.
Earth jelly.
And so,
earth goo.
Earth goo. And so he takes it to market and he calls it earth goop. No, he gets a patent for it because he finds another process of a way to kind of purify it and actually use it in a way that's consistent and actually ready for market.
Yeah.
He patents it, and he ends up spending months trying to come up with a good name for it. He lands on a name that is actually a combination of a few words. So he takes, let me find this word. He takes the German word for water, which is Wasser, and the Greek word for oil, which is aleon, and then the suffix ine, because it sounds scientific, and comes up with Vaseline.
I was right.
Yeah. And so he takes Vaseline to market. This is his
read the German word again.
Wasser.
Idiot. Okay.
What do you mean?
Wasser.
Oh yeah, Wasser. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Wasser. Vaseline.
So I nailed it. Perfect. Yeah. I like that.
So he takes Vaseline to market.
And on the box, he puts his mission and his entire thoughts about how the world should work.
Well, this is what I love about this. So he takes it to market in
1876.
1870, he manufactures it for the first time. 1872, he gets a patent, and he immediately starts taking it to market. And he goes around New York City to all the pharmacies. He's like, hey, I got this stuff, Vaseline. And he starts telling the pharmacists everything it does, and the pharmacists don't believe him. Like, no, it doesn't. Yeah. They're like, that's not real. And no one wants to buy any of it. Him. So he says, okay.
So how is Vaseline? What is it?
So we'll get there.
Okay.
So he
this is just rod gel.
Yeah. It's a byproduct of crude oil. Is what it is. And so this is he gets this carriage, this horse-drawn carriage. And he goes around New York City, and he basically sets up a sideshow where he lights himself on fire, and then he rubs that Vaseline on it. And he tells people this will make me heal faster. And he shows people other
He's
spots.
like, come back in 3 days. Come back to this spot. 3 days now. 3 days time. This will be healed. If you were here 2 days ago, here's yesterday's.
Here's yesterday. That's exactly what he would do. He'd be like, here's yesterday's burn. And people would be like, ooh, it's pretty healed.
And the only people who know that are the people who were here yesterday.
And then there'd be a guy who's like, I was here yesterday.
Take it from me, a man who was born in the UK, but I lived here in Jersey.
Why don't you have a British accent?
Well,
You were born in the UK?
all I gotta do is put Vaseline on your
Kill
vocal
that man.
cords. Hey, we just reduced the price of our Patreon to $6.99 a month. That's one price for everybody. You get all the perks. You get the live hangouts. You get to join the Discord. You get early access. Whichever reason you're joining for, we wanted to make it one price because I hate that everything in the world is going up in price. And so we wanted to make this a little bit more affordable for everyone to do. And so, but also, the other goal is that more of you join it so that we can keep funding the show. I mean, like, how do I say that? That sounds like we're poor, and we are.
We are.
And no, but if you can't join us on Patreon, no worries at all. Another way to support the show is by sharing it. Please tell somebody you like the show, and thanks for being here for this episode.
And then you don't have a weird accent.
So,
And so he'd burn himself, and then he'd be like, look, the burn's healed from yesterday. And what he would then do is after he did his little sideshow, he'd be like, come here, children.
you really do got to be like, hey, come back in a couple of days.
Well, he would then give out what was
Samples.
the first, like one of the first documented first free samples. And so he was giving out.
He was a
free
Costco
samples.
lady.
Yeah. And so he'd give out free samples of the Costco or the Vaseline. And he'd say, can
I just say, haven't seen a lot of them last time I've gone to Costco.
Oh, yeah. They don't do that as much.
The samples have been dying down.
And I will say, when I do see them, it's useless stuff. I went. I'm not exaggerating. I went the other day, and she had all these.
Would you like a free sample of this 20-foot outdoor pool? We cut it into little pieces and put it in this cup. Would you like a free sample? And you're like, I guess.
I guess.
Come back in 3 days.
Come back in 3 days.
See what that becomes.
See what it turns into.
Bury this bean in your backyard. Like they're giving out magic beans at Costco. I got these magic beans from a Costco lady. And then you go back and you're like, guys, there was a lady in this aisle. And they're like,
no, there wasn't.
we haven't let women in this
samples.
store. And you're like, what?
This is a Southern Baptist store. This is a Southern Baptist
It's a
Costco.
Southern Baptist Costco.
This is an SBC.
We don't let the ladies in here. Okay.
So,
this is Southern Baptist Costco. That's crazy.
and what he would do, he'd give out the samples
Yeah.
and say, if you like that, you can buy it at any pharmacy in New York. But the pharmacies don't carry it.
Yeah. But
Clever.
they're asking for it.
So now all these people start showing up at every pharmacy and they're like, hey, do you guys carry this Vaseline?
That's smart.
And all the pharmacists were like, oh, we got to get some of that Vaseline. Everyone wants that Vaseline.
Yeah.
And so
We got to get some of that Vaseline.
everybody wants that Vaseline.
What do you think that bit was? I just need you to describe to me what because you just went, everybody, it was like Halloween Town. Vaseline, Vaseline, Vaseline. Like, what do you think the bit was?
I don't know, just pharmacists being weird.
Everybody wants some Vaseline. Like, who do you think pharmacists are?
I don't know, they're just being weird. Pharmacists are weird, man.
Okay.
They can be a little weird sometimes.
All right.
So the pharmacists start calling them, and they're like,
they're like, hey,
yeah.
calling him?
I don't know. They got the catalog that he gave them. I don't know. They're sending him a letter. I don't know what they did then.
It's a pigeon.
They popped them off a telegraph. I don't know. And so they start ordering.
He's taking in orders from carrier pigeons. He's like, okay. Hey, we got to get 2 barrels down to the...
He tied 2 barrels to a pigeon.
We got to get some bigger pigeons.
Pigeon's not very strong. And so a couple years later,
the
by
bit there is
1871
that pigeons are not able to carry the barrels because they're too small. And the idea would be that you find a pigeon big enough that can carry 2 barrels, and that's a funny visual
Or
for
a
the
lot
audio
of
listener.
pigeons.
Now you explain your pharmacist joke earlier.
So the joke was
See
that
how I'm
pharmacists-
explaining.
Okay, let me explain.
It's a visual
The joke
gag.
is that pharmacists, they can't be picked
Everybody
up by
wants
pigeons.
some
So they
Vaseline.
need a
That's
big
what you
enough
did.
pigeon.
I don't understand what this was.
They got pigeons holding up their arms. The pharmacists
Everybody
are like
wants some,
ratatouilled by a couple
Okay.
pigeons that
All
are
right,
moving their arms
that's
around.
a good visual. See, that's a visual bit.
There we go. Okay, cool. We're fleshing it out.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're gonna cut all of it out, but we're working on it.
Thanks. Good. So by 1874, 2 years later,
Uh-huh.
they got to the point where he's selling 1,400 jars of Vaseline.
I was
a
gonna
day.
say that building had Vaseline on it. Like
Yeah. Yeah, so they end up building a factory. They're moving Vaseline. And so he starts going to all these like medical institutions and he's like, hey, study this stuff. Tell me what it does. And everyone's like, nothing really, honestly, man. This doesn't really do anything.
And he's like, hey, that's not what you were supposed to say. He's like, if I give you a couple $100,
can you say it does something?
and they're like, we did the same thing for Coca-Cola.
So what they found, the only thing that they found that Vaseline actually does is it's like a protective layer. And so it prevents infection and it is a little soothing. And so it soothes and it protects you from further infection. And especially in that day and age, infection was super common.
Yeah.
And so
actually
these
that is
wounds-
useful.
Yeah, these wounds would heal faster because they weren't infected. The other wounds were infected or they were getting...
Come back in 3 days. You know, I used to have all 5 fingers, but then I didn't put Vaseline on my pinky.
and I lost it when I cut it off for the bit.
But thankfully, this will make it grow back.
And he's just got like a molded Vaseline finger and it's like super goopy. And he's like, it's my Vaseline finger.
Yes. Seeing is believing.
He sounds like a gnome.
Yes. Come on down to the Southern Baptist Costco. It really hits the T in Costco. Come on down to Southern Baptist Costco.
It's so dumb.
No women allowed. We don't let the ladies. That's their tagline. Okay, so the tagline is Southern Baptist Costco. We don't let women in here, and we have plenty of free samples. A really big tagline.
So he starts marketing it as being kind of like this panacea. It can do anything and everything.
Sure.
And it's kind of one of those weird things where like, yes, it's this protective layer. And so because of that, you can use it in a lot of different applications.
Right.
And it's like, it's wound care, it's diaper care, it is skin stuff.
Yeah.
He starts marketing it as like a hair product for like
Pomade. Yeah.
Yeah. Give your hair that just combed look all day long. So it's like, yeah, like a pomade or
Yeah. Cream hair tonic.
yeah, just make your hair greasy. Put this oil in your hair. And so
Some people liked that.
so they market it in all
That
sorts
was
of
the 50s, though. That
Yeah.
was a long time later.
Yeah. So they're marketing it in all sorts of different ways. They're having a hard time getting any like scientific establishment to like verify any of the claims that they're making. But it doesn't matter. It's popular. It's selling like crazy. They're getting very, very big.
Okay.
And in 1881, his company gets gobbled up by Standard Oil and becomes part of their whole massive conglomerate, which was a great partnership for them because obviously Standard Oil has all of this rod wax that they don't need.
Yeah.
And so they are able to then just skyrocket their production.
Right. You have to figure out stuff to use it for because you have so much.
Yeah, you've got tons. And so
You just do new products.
well, yeah, eventually they've discovered how to turn this stuff into plastics. And so
God.
eventually this is where plastic comes from.
Sure.
But for a long time, it's just this jelly. The Queen of England knights him, which is an interesting move. She says she uses Vaseline every day. She's a huge Vaseline fan.
What year does she knight him?
1883.
Here and here, and then he goes, because the sword kind of cut him a little bit.
Yeah, he puts the. He became like a huge believer, and he constantly would market it, like constantly cut himself, constantly burn himself, and like in public, and like put it on and be like, see how well it works.
Yeah,
like I don't. It just looks like you just put it on your arm. Well, look, I did it here before. You know, that was his stitch.
Yeah.
His.
There you go.
You're not gonna help me here.
Nope.
His.
Oh, he's kind of stuck trying to figure it out.
That was his.
Keep going. I like this. This is a fun game.
That was his.
Tim, this is rough.
I don't remember what the word you could help.
It's Stitch.
Is it Stitch?
Yeah, that was his Stitch.
I don't think it's Stitch. I really don't think it's Stitch.
It's Stitch.
Robert, what? Robert.
Yeah, he doesn't care about our team at all. So that was his whole Stitch.
That's not the thing. That's not the word.
Yeah, it is.
That's not the word. Oh, I'm gonna listen back to this and I'm gonna know what I'm trying to say.
Okay. It's Stitch.
It's not Stitch. It's not Stitch. If you know what I'm trying to say, comment below what I'm trying to say.
It's Lilo and Stitch. So that's his whole Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, because dude, in Kim Possible, he's like, "What's the Stitch?"
No, it's Stitch. That's Stitch. I know that. You're not gonna get me on that one.
Oh boy, am I sick. I sure do need Tim Stone's Get Well Quick Trick. And what is it? It's simply chug an entire gallon of orange juice. Wow, I forgot. And then this shirt reminded me. I'm so glad that I have this shirt as a public service announcement, a public health service to other people around me. Do your part. Get this shirt. Shop.TILLN.com.
Anyways, so he spends his life being like devoted to this stuff.
Yeah.
When in 1902 he builds this building, which this is not really part of the story. I just really like it.
It's a cool building.
It's very cool. This is in Manhattan. It was the tallest building in the city at the time.
Being the tallest building was his whole Stitch.
I hate that we're gonna turn off the cameras. You're gonna tell me what the word I was looking for is, because I know you know what it is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna be able to focus the rest of this
I've told
episode.
you several times. I've told you several times at this point. Keep going. The building's
I'm
cool.
trying to think of what it
all right, no, just move on. Just move on. That's all right.
Okay, so in 1911,
stuck on that.
What'd you say?
Let's not get stuck on that.
Shtick, his whole shtick.
Idiot. Oh, good times.
So his company regains
Lilo and
independence.
Stitch.
His company regains its independence in 1911 when the government breaks up Standard Oil.
Yeah.
And he becomes like a real estate speculator, and he starts building all these big buildings and different things all over the world. In his 50s, he gets the flu, and he's very sick. And while he is in the hospital, he says, "Whatever you're planning on doing, I don't need it. What I need you to do is I need you to cover my body head to toe in Vaseline." And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this actually happened or if this is just what he told everyone when he got out.
Cheesebro's Get Well Quick Trick. Cover your whole body in Vaseline.
Yeah, and he says I was out of the hospital in 2 days. And whether that actually happened or not, I don't know. It seems like the kind of thing a salesman would just make up.
Yeah.
But it also seems like the kind of thing that, because we do know he used to burn himself in public and then put Vaseline on, he might have just...
Well, you just close up all your pores?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like, nothing's getting in or out.
Let's try it. Next time we're sick, let's both just try it.
Let's do it right. Ray, would you go next door to Hy-Vee, buy him out of Vaseline?
Yeah, we're probably going to need all the
We'll
Vaseline.
get shirtless.
And we'll just lather. Oh, I can't. Oh, that makes me sick thinking about it. That's so gross. Vaseline. You want to know something really? Oh, so I have this thing. The word for it is eczema. But my hands get really chapped and like dry every winter.
People notice.
Thanks. Glad you do. And when I was a kid, it got really bad.
I think I've made fun of you on the show where I go, get your leprosy hands away from me.
Nah, that's fair.
And then you go, it's not leprosy, it's eczema.
It's not leprosy, it's my whole shtick.
It's not leprosy, it's eczema. That's how you talk.
Okay, whatever, man. But growing up back home in Colorado, there's like no moisture in the air. So like, it would get like really bad. My hands would crack really bad. And the solution my mom came up with was Vaseline.
So your hands were always shiny?
Well, we didn't do it in the day because it's gross to walk around with Vaseline on your hands all day. So we did
Vaseline
it at night.
learned your routine. He uses his hands less at night.
So we covered my hands in Vaseline at night, but then that was gross because it got all over my bed.
You didn't wear gloves?
Well, yeah, and so instead of
then you had those big Mickey Mouse gloves.
well, they made those gloves, but they were like
oven mitts.
They were bad looking. They were awful. They were genuinely awful. And so instead, the solution was I went to bed with Vaseline covered hands, and we put tube socks on my arms. And so I went to bed with tube socks on the hands with Vaseline hands inside there.
Yeah.
And then I clearly remember as a kid
with
walking around picking up cups,
going
with
to
my
your
Vaseline
computer
socks.
and typing "kill Josh."
Kill Josh.
And they knew it was you because of the grease residue left behind.
So much grease on the. Yeah, it was bad. And just like having to do everything like this.
Yeah.
Once I went to bed after, it was gross.
That's really sad, man.
It's not sad. It was healthcare.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my parents got an insurance payout for that.
Okay. So he recovers from the flu.
Yeah, he does recover from the flu. He goes back to business.
Allegedly because of Vaseline.
And then, like I said, he continues running his business. His business, super successful business.
Right.
And then in March 1933, he's 96 years old.
Yeah.
And he's interviewed in a local newspaper. And they're like, what's your like secret? Like, how did you live so long?
I drank 2 Vaselines a day.
He said, well, I ate a spoonful of Vaseline every day. And so
okay.
So
and here's the thing. I believe him.
I do believe that he genuinely did that. Like, because here's the thing. There's like a fine line between being kind of a crazy person and being a salesman. And
the salesman is like, hey, here's the pool and all that stuff, right? And then this guy is like, but I believe this stuff.
But I actually buy it.
And every morning he's just, a spoonful of Vaseline makes the medicine.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
I just wrote that.
Did you really? And so he said he did that, and that started to spread. People started to eat Vaseline in the morning because they thought it was healthy because he did it. And so over the course of a few years...
That's so crazy.
Yeah. This kind of became like a panacea for a while. For years, people were doing it for everything. And then by like the mid-50s, it kind of became something where it's like, okay, this is just kind of does some stuff. But he dies not long later at 96 in September of 1933.
Yeah.
1955, Pond's Extract Company buys out Cheesebrough's manufacturing company.
Okay.
Which later is bought by Unilever, and Unilever's still making it to this day. And so Vaseline is still on the shelves. It doesn't.
What is it now?
It's the same thing. It's just this extract from oil. And so they pull it off those rods, the byproduct that you don't use. Part of it goes into plastics, part of it goes into jelly, and it's like purified into petroleum jelly. And there's a handful of companies that make it now, but Vaseline is like the biggest worldwide one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's just kind of coats your skin. And I shouldn't say it doesn't do anything. It does soothe you. It's a protective layer. That's really all it is.
And at no point was he like, you know what? We should make this like an MLM.
I don't know. It was just his business. He just went around selling it, and it was in like pharmacies and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Part of the time. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. That's the story of Robert Cheesebrough. Cheesebrough.
Cheesebrough.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fiddle off then. Hey, thanks for being here for this episode of Things I Learned Last Night. If you liked it and you want another one like it, you could go check out Painless Parker, a dentist who would kind of go around and try to convince people that he knew how to do dentist stuff. He didn't. And so you can go check that out. We thank you for being here. You can join us on Patreon if you want next week's episode right now. And also, I don't know what the hype button does on YouTube, but if you see it, you should click it. All right? That would help us a lot. I've heard that it helps the algorithm. And so I'm just asking you to do it. All right. We'll see you next time.